Hello everyone, welcome to episode 3 of The News as I See It, January 3rd, 2013. Okay, first thing of the day is there's this interesting free-to-play game that I picked up on Joystiq, and if you go to this website right here, you can scroll on down, and whether it be PC or Mac, even though they recommend you get the PC version, right here, little blue links, click those. It's a super fast-paced, fun little game. Just download it. It's like an instantaneous download. It's like each little match could last 1 to like 30 seconds. It's just fun and rewarding. It's totally free. I think my high score was like 92 or 98, and then I, beat the game. It's pretty cool. Just see what your high score is, and if you don't pick up on it yourself, don't forget you can left click and right click, and it's a WSAD game. So run around, have some fun. Little 8-bit game. I don't want to spoil too much for you. Just go check it out. I really suggest it. You could even go download it real quick and play it while you're watching the show. And also, the link is in the description. Okay, this is a story over at Comics and Gaming Magazine. I just happened to catch this in another site. I think it was on News for Gamers. But this is a story that's kind of near and dear to my heart, and it's something I bring up almost every week and almost always to people who I'm freshly meeting. It's about how people who own gaming stores, comic book stores, cigar shops, any specialty shop, the employees or the owners, which usually it's the owners who are running the store solely, they're huge jerks and they don't care about you, and they just want to show how superior their knowledge is in that certain department. So if I go into a cigar store, it's one thing to ask for my ID, especially if I'm clean and shaven. I look 17 even though I'm 25. So I can understand being carded for a cigar. I'm okay with that. But then when they go, oh, would you like a light cigar? You probably can't handle a heavy cigar. I actually can't handle a light cigar. It burns my throat. I only want a heavy cigar. So, pah to you, sir. And it's the same thing with comic book stores. You go in saying, oh, yeah, I really want a Green Lantern. You guys got the new Green Lantern? And they go, oh, no, but here's the Transformers. It's like the same thing. And you're like, what? Or you say, I want a Green Lantern. They go, oh, you just want the biggest selling book, huh? You want the most popular book? And you go, actually, no, I've been a fan of Green Lantern since I was, born? F you. So that's annoying. Or you go like, hey, can I have a strange talent of Luther Strode? And they're like, what's that? And you're like, you, sir, are an idiot. So yeah, the article really talks about how people who own these stores should be more inclusive. They should really try and get people to come in, and they should be crazy nice, crazy helpful, and if the people seem really noobish and new and not sure what they need, they should be informed and able to point people in the right direction to things that they should read or buy or play. Try and tie it to things they know. They should be really informed. They own these stores. So it's a really good point, and it's a good point for other parts of your life. You should be forgiving of people. Like if you're a live streamer and you just said, I'm playing blank game, or I had a bad day, or I'm doing a special speed run, and someone comes in and they have no idea who you are or what you're doing, and then you get mad at them and yell at them for not knowing what you're doing, even though you just talked about it. You don't know when they join the stream. You have no idea about what they're about. You gotta be a little understanding in certain situations. A little food for thought. Okay, so this third article, it's something I talk about all the time. Where the hell are all the sex games? You see them in pop-up ads in places you don't want to be, and they're always really sketchy. But this is an interesting story. So the game developers really wanted this basically sex simulator. It's more of a choose-your-own-adventure dating sim, sex sim game. Something like that, mixed with nudie pictures. They tried to get it on Steam. And Steam said no, it's way too explicit. I think it was even supposed to be on Greenlight, and it just, got cut because of explicit content. Now, it is up to Steam whether or not they want sexual content to be on Steam. The Witcher 2 has, I think, a lot of female nudity, which, okay, it's a story about warfare in older times, and it's an addition to the game. This game is about, having sex. So I can understand where they're coming from, but at the same time, like every game on the market pretty much involves getting a headshot and getting bonus points, making someone's brain hit the floor. Is having sex that much worse than blowing out someone's brain? I don't know. You be the judge, But this is a really interesting article about the specific case about someone trying to get their sex game put out there and being, rejected more or less. But if you really want to, you can still get this game from their website, PC and Mac, I do believe. Okay, so up next is Slickdeals. It's a really cool site that I like to go to all the time. They have awesome deals on TVs, video games, and just everything. It's actually a site that just compiles online sales for the day, the month, etc., and tries to keep them up to date. And when they expire, they take them down, things like that. And for this first one, it's $40 for a year of Xbox Live card on eBay. It's a $60 card for $40. That's pretty obvious, and I really suggest checking it out. I don't really like using eBay, but if you like using eBay, then here you go. Check out this deal. Okay, so this next one is awesome from Slickdeals. It's Metroid 2033, which is a really awesome game for free if you like them on Facebook. That's a pretty big deal. So this is not so much a sale, but it's a free avatar prop on Xbox Live for your avatar. I believe just for today, the next couple days, you can just go download it. It's free. So just another example of how following a website like Slickdeals can inform you of free things. There's also just tons and tons of other things on Slickdeals, TVs, computers, all sorts of stuff. Just check it out. There's a lot of other sites that will gather the most important deals even on Slickdeals, so you can sort of filter it out the way you want, but drop by once a day, once a week, just kind of see what they're, palling around. Usually sales aren't one day only, but sometimes they are. Like a couple days ago, there was like a $130 32-inch LCD TV, I think. It's a pretty good deal, but just check them out and hopefully find something you like. Okay, so this story is kind of hit or miss with a lot of people, but basically the way I understand it is this company, R2 Studios, was bought by Microsoft, and it's a company that specializes in integration of home electronics or electronics with home applications like, using your iPhone to control your security system, your thermostat, your refrigerator, things like that. It's kind of how I understand it. Either way, this is a company that Microsoft has bought, and it allows devices to communicate with each other. It's a company that specializes in that. So that's a pretty big deal. And especially in the ways of maybe your Xbox can, know when you're out of, Mountain Dew in the refrigerator, and you can go buy some instead of having, open your fridge and you're about to have a 12-hour gaming session, having no Mountain Dew. Things like that. Or your Xbox could say, man, it's really hot in here. Do you want to change the thermostat? And you could go, yeah, man, totally, and warm it up for you. So that's really interesting. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Bill Gates lives in a smart house, whereas some of his windows are like LCD TVs. And if he wants to live in front of the White House, he can just press a button and all of his windows make it look like he's living outside the White House or on a mountain peak or underwater. And I think, he has the smart refrigeration system. So if he runs out of milk, the refrigerator emails his assistant and they bring him more milk. And he doesn't have to do any of that. The refrigerator just knows via cameras, barcode signatures, things like that. That's from what I've heard. I don't know if that's all true or not. I don't know Bill Gates. Me and him had a falling out, don't want to get into that. But either way, his information and knowledge alone from if he has a smart house could really tie into this and create really interesting things, such as the Nest thermostat, N-E-S-T, Nest. It's really cool. It's an iPhone-controlled thermostat. I have an iPhone-controlled thermostat. It's not a Nest. It's a Honeywell? I don't know. But they're awesome. You can lay in bed and get it warm before you get out of bed. Check it out. Okay, so this is about the game Defiance. It's a collaboration with Sci-Fi Channel, and they're making a show as well. So the way I understand it, it's a TV show and a video game. And when you're playing the game, you can make various choices as a community, killing a boss X amount of times or something, or doing a voting system. And what ends up happening in the game, I believe, transpires in the show eventually. Awesome idea. If that's what's supposed to be happening, I don't really know, but that's what I've heard, and it sounds really cool. And if you click the Enlist Here button, you can sign up for the beta and give it a shot and see if you like it, and it should prove to be pretty interesting. It looks like a fun game. Okay, over at Massively from Joystiq, there's another article, an interview with Curt Schilling about 38 Studios and what really happened, Kingdoms of Amalur and Project Copernicus, which is the MMO they were making, which ended up being Amalur, but it wasn't supposed to be. and all of that chaos, and Rhode Island giving them money and all that crap. I talked about it earlier, and it's a good follow-up article if you want more information, if you didn't, find what you needed from the other article. So check it out. Interesting read, just another side of the story. And it's a big deal because a state government, or a city government state government gave a video game company money and a contract to come make a game as long as they lived there to bring in, jobs. And it flopped, so now that might never happen. It kind of sucks that the first time that happened, it failed miserably. So it puts a bad rep on game companies and them being able to be a reliable part of the economy. So it's kind of a big deal, and it's an interesting story. So I suggest checking it out a little bit more. Okay, another story over at Massively. Age of Empires Online has ceased content development, which kind of surprises me, even though I've never really seen anyone play it. I downloaded it a couple months ago. I really enjoyed it. I played it for a week or two. Didn't buy anything, even though that's kind of how they're supposed to make money. It kind of felt like a pay to win, but at the same time, I enjoyed the game. I'm a huge Age of Empires fan. Age of Empires 3 didn't really feel as good as 2. I still really liked 3, though. A lot. It just didn't feel like a huge jump. It just felt like a really updated version of 2, so to speak. And Age of Empires Online felt like a pretty good successor to 3, but with a toned down graphics, kind of like in World of Warcraft, and a, sort of cash shop integration. And the overworld was actually really confusing, but that doesn't matter. Either way, they've stopped content development, which shows possibly the end of the Age of Empires franchise entirely. I just want Ensemble back, and I wish they wouldn't have screwed them over with Halo Wars, which was a disgrace to the company, because that's not the game they made. They made them reskin it, and I'm mad about it. But this is an interesting story. It's just another case of things dying and companies shutting things down, just like in yesterday's stories. So a little more information in the article if you want, but it's just another cool fact to add to the list. All right, and the last article is just, it's time for CES. Even though it's still a few days off, the news has started, the stories have started, the rumors have started, and a little bit of coverage has already started. So I'm personally going to be following Engadget. I really like the way they do their news, and I'm hoping they're going to have a lot of good information about CES and all the, it's Consumer Electronics Association, so it's going to be, possibly things like new Xbox news, new PlayStation news, integration with 3D TVs, new handheld cell phones. It's all super relative stuff to gaming and TVs and movies, and it's awesome. So just really stay tuned to CES news. Just follow the news site. It's going to be just like, if you follow Engadget, it'll be just tons and tons of new cameras, cell phones, tablets, refrigerators, electric rollerblades that read your books on your iPhone. Who knows? Just follow it. Stay in tuned. And for today, that's it. As the news as I see it. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you tomorrow. And if you have any cool news sites or news shows or stories or articles you want me to see, if you see them tomorrow or any day, just tweet them at me at Algol Gaming, at Algol's News, or hashtag Algol's News, and I'll get it. And if I like it, I will feature it. If not, I might link it, mention it. Who knows? Just send me some articles, and we'll see if they're any good, or if I like them. Later, guys.